Hello and welcome to Game Over... Hey, wait a minute. Britt? Britt, where are you? Who turned out the lights? This isn't good.
Just kidding.
Okay, well, I guess it's going to be dark.
It's me, Jason.
Oh, yay! Hi, Jason. Roll the intro. Greetings, salutations, and howdy there from the land of the dark to this special episode with no video because the camera's broken of Game Overcast, episode 26. I am your host, Matt, and I am joined by the one, the only, the crazy girl with the hockey mask, Miss Brittany. Say hello.
Hello.
Yes, we had a little bit of camera trouble, so if you're watching on YouTube, you don't have to look at us for a change, and if you're listening on SoundCloud or iTunes, it's nothing new for you at all, so it's okay. Just pretend nothing has happened and ignore the past 30 seconds. We are going to get right rolling with the episode because we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And if we don't have lots of stuff to talk about, we're going to pretend that we do have a lot of stuff to talk about, so it's going to be great. We will start off with a little bit of now playing. Brittany, what are you now playing? Like right now?
Right now, as we speak. I'm kidding. I have been playing Rayman on the PS4.
Which one?
I've had the itch.
Are you playing, is it like the Origins or Legends?
Oh my God, which one? You know what? I don't even know. Which one is the one with... Yeah, it's on my PlayStation, and I'm like, man, I have the itch to play Rayman. And so I just click it over, and I'm actually not sure which one it is. Whichever one has the music levels.
Okay,
yes.
You're playing Legends then.
It's
cool.
Legends. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, all I know is that it's a great game, and it's really, really fun. And that's all that matters, right? But I've been playing that, and
this game's on my PS4. I don't know what it is, but it's good.
It just happens to be there. No, I bought it, and but yeah, it's a really, really good game. It's fun. Every now and then I get the itch to play it because I love platformers and I love games like that. So I've been playing that. Also, The Inpatient, which is really. But I've been watching you play that because that's hilarious.
It's not,
and it's super hilarious.
It's not
hilarious at all. My favorite thing ever, and it's so funny.
Screw that game. I'm not playing it anymore.
That's a great game.
I've thrown it away.
It's so fun.
To buy your own copy of it. I don't know why I paid for it in the first place.
It's so fun to watch you play that game. It's amazing.
That's because I shriek and flail. And I mean,
yes.
I'm going to make you play it and so you can shriek and flail.
I will be fine.
Yeah, you probably would be.
I was totally fine when I played Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, which is still like one of my favorites.
That's different. That's like a jump scare shooter. This is like you're trapped in an insane asylum and the devil wants to eat your cupcakes.
I mean, that's fine.
Shut up. But anything else? Or is that the extent?
No, yeah, that's it.
No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Wait, yeah.
Are you reporting fake news? That's what this is?
Oh, God. Stop it.
Okay, well.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
I will proceed then. I've been playing a whole bag of things lately, just at once in a bag, rolling down a hill. I have finally beaten Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Thank God.
One of these days I'll remember that name.
Because I'm just saying, too much about Xenoblade. Too much.
Then would you be pleased to realize I beat it because the patch for New Game Plus just went live, so now I'm starting it all over again.
You don't want to play anything else?
Well, I am playing other things else, but I really appreciate... Yeah, other things else. Yeah, there you go. That's a word, isn't it? It is a proper combination of words. We're speaking the English. I have not put as many hours into a game like I have with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in a very, very, very long time. And the only reason I have been is because it's portable. If I couldn't take it with me, this is Matt complimenting the Switch, write it down, I wouldn't be anywhere near, because I still haven't beat Persona 5 yet. Even though I love that game to death, because I don't have time at home.
Well, it's hard to find time to sit down, because especially when you play an RPG. I mean, I'm the type of person, this is why I can't play too much, because I'm the type of person, well, I don't have a lot of time, but on top of that, when I do play them, I have to do everything. I have to touch everything. If there is like
just walking around
box,
poking every single goblin.
I have to go to every single box, talk to every single person in that freaking village. I have to do it. So it takes me like extra time.
There's one, I need to post this, a posted picture of it. One of my favorite pictures I've seen in the past couple of years. It's a Zelda Breath of the Wild cartoon, and it's this little tiny Link in the forest with the Gerudo, and he like motions her to come over, and he pokes her nose, then he like flies away on his thing, and she's like, hey!
Aww,
like,
that's so good. That's really
That was really good, though.
That's me. I would be booping everyone.
It's just the legend of Booper.
Yeah,
But that's
so it's
me
hard
with
for me.
Xenoblade. I think I'm somewhere near 180 hours into the thing.
You know, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's why I'm really happy to see some of these remasters, because a lot of the times, especially with our busy schedules now, the only time we really can play anything is if we plan out a date. Like, okay, so 2 weeks from now on this date, we'll actually have free time so we can sit down and play this game, unless it's handheld. So I'm happy because a lot of the games, you know, I'm looking to see what games are on the list of, you know, that are coming out. Blah blah blah. English is hard, and I can really see a lot of, like, I'm super happy they turned LA Noire into a handheld game, because I love that game, and I would love to be able to play it on the go.
I've heard it's really buggy, though.
Ultimately, that's all I'm trying to say, is I love to...
That was last episode, was the remaster show.
Yeah,
We're not talking about Burnout Paradise, the remaster on this one. I won't do it. I won't do it.
No, but I love that they have a good lineup of games coming out, because that's the only way for me to play them right now.
Definitely. And that's why I definitely like Xenoblade so much. But I am playing through New Game Plus now. Because there are still rare blades. My only big complaint about the game, other than the really crappy localization, which I won't touch on anymore, is the way in which you acquire blades. Now, in Xenoblade, blades are actual, like, creatures, where they are, like, individuals, like humanoid people or monsters or goblins, whatever they are, and they have the weapon. And you use the weapon, and they, like, give you their energy, and that's how you get your moveset, is each blade gives you a different weapon with different moveset and different elements, and et cetera, et cetera. But the way you get these blades, the way you acquire them, is the most stupid, loot boxy, garbage system. I don't know what they were thinking, where you get these things called, like, core crystals, and it has a random chance to get a random blade, and most of the time it'll just be a random generic blade, but occasionally it will be what's called a rare blade, which is one of the special ones. So, like, you know, the guys on the cover, the girl with the fiery sword, she's a rare blade. And I think there's something like 20-something, and they added 6 more for the new Game Plus. So there's about 30-ish blades out there, one of which, spoilers by the way, is Cosmos from Xenosaga, which is why I'm still playing this damn game. But you have, they data mined this a couple of weeks ago to get the odds. You have this infinitesimal, like, it's something like 0.001% to get some of these blades. And it's this really stupid mobile game gotcha system where you have to do it over and over and over and over. I mean, I've gone through hundreds of these crystals, and I'm still missing about 12, 13 blades. It's terrible. And you can raise your chances with, like, luck stat boosters and different things like that. Like, not boosters that you pay for, but, like, items you get in the game. But it makes me feel like Nintendo was thinking, or Monolith Software was thinking of maybe putting a system where you could, like, pay for, like, high-grade things to get them. But then there was the whole debacle with Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah. And that was in November. And this game launched in December. So I don't know if any of this is true. There's nothing to back this up. But it feels like that's the system they were going to make. And then at the last minute took out the pay option. Or
they just wanted you to play it for a really long time.
I am playing it for a really long time, and I'm enjoying it, but I just want to get my damn characters so I can do their quests and further enjoy the game.
It does sound more of like a mobile setup, like you were saying. Because isn't there a mobile version of that game? Or
I don't think there's one of Xenoblade, but there's Fire Emblem Warriors has that system.
Okay. I'm thinking
Fate
of the Fire
has
Emblem
that exact same system.
Yeah.
There are dozens and dozens of games out there
and that
have
sounds
that thing.
like, I'm pretty sure it's the Fire Emblem one, because I have a friend who plays the Fire Emblem mobile game. Yes, Andy. And he spends, like, tons of money on it.
It's like that. Except there's no way to spend money on it.
Yeah.
Which I'm great. I think it's fantastic, but it feels like they were going to do that because it has that same kind of, like, kind of thing where you'll spend an hour grinding for these things and then get nothing. What? Was that not the...
yeah, totally.
That's about
every now and then I feel like that.
That sound is the emotion that comes from my heart right there. After I spent, like, I'm open like 30 cores and I've got nothing. It's just like that.
It's horrifying.
That is complete and utter despair.
I'm gonna hear that sound in my nightmares. God,
it's like 3 a.m. That and, like, the Dark Souls, like.
It's a horror movie. Wake up, Matt. Are you okay? I'm not opening that door.
Robots. Yeah. Sorry. Speaking of robots, further spoilers here. We're going into for Xenoblade. Robots
are good
everywhere. Oh, okay. Like, there was a few,
too, yeah.
and then there was more, and then there was more, and then there was a whole lot more, and it was like the entire thing. It was like robots out the wazoo. Happy Matt. Why I'm still playing the game. But I've actually been playing other stuff. So real quickly, I was looking around. I was at the store one day and I realized that Swamp Thing being one of my favorite DC Comics characters ever. I love Swamp Thing to death.
Pretty cool character.
Being an NES game has gotten kind of hard to find because the game itself has actually gotten pretty expensive. And it occurred to me that I have this game because I bought it just because it was Swamp Thing. And I've never actually played it. So I played it the other day. Don't do it. I say that being like, if you're a fan of Swamp Thing or NES platformers, give it a shot. But wow, it's not good. There's a lot of NES games.
Someone out there's like, hey, Swamp Thing's my favorite game. That would be me.
you are entitled to that opinion. I mean, it's not like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde bad, but it may be Silver Surfer bad. I know you haven't played it. Yeah, Silver Surfer it's like a shoot 'em up, and it's, at least to me, it's like your hitbox is the size of a bus.
Yeah, but this is me. I see the good in everything. It could be like the worst game or the worst movie ever, and I'm like, yeah, but
you need to play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
This was really awesome.
That's
about
one of my
it.
contenders for worst game ever.
I don't think
Superman 64 is the worst game ever. I think Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's pretty nasty.
I like some pretty bad games, so I think I could like something.
You also
about
haven't played the whatchamacallit, the Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon and stuff, which are also pretty bad. Those are pretty bad.
I am gonna buy those though on my quest to own everything video game related Zelda
quest.
Ever. Like video game wise, not like merchandise wise.
And then there's bad. We also, I think at some point, need to do a show on quotations bad games. On games that, are really good but really bad. Like, like we keep talking about Earth Defense, which is a really bad game, but you play it for
that game is amazing, yeah.
See, there's
but
bad.
But that's a good bad.
That's what I mean. I want to do a show at some point on good bad
And I think
games.
you should rephrase that. It's not a bad game, it's a cheesy game.
There you go.
So I think there's a difference between a game being cheesy and a game being bad.
It's like Evil Dead's really, really bad, but it's so good.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I was like, you back up right now. Those are some fighting words.
Or like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I tried to get you to watch that movie for like 6 years, and you finally watched it, and it was great, right?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
With the movie with like the rednecks and everyone dying, and that was hilarious.
It was pretty good. It was pretty funny.
It's like that, where that's like a super hokey. I wouldn't like nominate the movie for an Oscar, which I think is actually going on right now, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't care about that stuff.
No, I don't either.
I love movies.
Although they did nominate your your Shape of Potato movie, or what it was called. Shape of Water. Sorry, Shape of Potato.
Like what?
Del Toro kind of looks like a potato.
Oh my god, he's so
like this
precious.
cute little Spanish
I love
potato
him.
man.
Yeah, I know a ton about horror movies anyway, but I love movies. I'm a complete cinephile, like all the way, and
That sounds really inappropriate, but I don't think it is.
But it's not. No, it's a person who loves movies, and who knows a lot about them.
I had to put him away hard because he was a cinephile.
I know a ton of stuff about directors, but for some reason I just don't care about the Oscars. Like I feel like
it's a bunch of like bigwigs voting on what they think the best movie of the year is. They're like, And
I feel like they look down on us little people.
It's like, man, you haven't seen
but
this
you know
indie
what? Us
documentary.
little people are what making the great movies. Yeah, like.
Well, you little people,
indie movies
you fit into like small
all
spaces
the way.
and stuff. So
I love indie movies. That's where it's at. That's where all of the original ideas
are. This isn't a movie
are.
show, but I will say the quote indie movie has gotten kind of annoying. And now you do have great indie movies, but then you have like that. Have you seen my indie movie? Yes, it's about a bucket.
Yeah, but there's some really good.
You don't understand
movies.
the bucket. Can we talk about how crappy Mother was for a second here, please? That's gonna piss people off.
I don't want to talk about that.
And that was an indie movie, but
I actually really.
There are games you play where you're like, I want my time back. That was like Mother. I watched Mother and I was waiting because I really enjoyed Black Swan.
Black Swan, yeah.
And I watched that movie like, please, at some point, make me not hate you, please. And then the movie ended and I was like, nope, still hate it.
I thought it was really interesting, and I really like it when people just go out to make their own movies to make their movies. Like, they know it's probably not going to be a blockbuster. They know it's not, whatever. And I admire that a lot. When he was just like, you know what, I want to make this movie, and to me it means something. I really appreciate that. Because it takes a lot of...
guts.
Yes, thank you.
to make a movie that like that.
Yeah.
And I will granted that, and I will respect him sticking true to his vision. I think his vision was seeped in a great deal of possible narcotics. This is the guy that did
Darren Aronofsky.
That one drug movie. What was it called?
Well, he did Black Swan.
The really scary
Requiem for a Dream.
That one, that was a freaky movie. But that I thought was okay too. I just think he was kind of off his nut on this
Requiem for a
one.
Dream is great.
But I mean, I will respect him trying to do his thing. I couldn't stand it, and I was happy it was over. And I'm waiting for someone to go, "Oh, Matt, you just didn't understand it." I'm like, "That's fine. That's fine." Robots. That's all I have to say. But moving on, video games. Yes. That was a huge. Sorry, that was my own fault on that.
But you know what? I could go on forever.
I'm
and ever
aware.
And ever. We have to do a movie podcast at some point because.
Well, we still have to do the other half of the video game movie podcast. Remember,
yes.
we did the game.
Oh my gosh, I'm ready.
We did one with the games and the movies. We did the movies and the games now. Or we did one of them. We need to do the other half of it at some point in the future. Yeah. But anyways,
we'll figure it
out. I've come up with 2 ideas for shows.
Yay.
Live.
That's awesome.
Yes. Awesome.
I'm excited, especially if it
almost
involves,
like I pulled a show out of my butt. I know. I promise, David.
Pizza and movies, like I'm down. That are related to video games. That's perfect.
Okay. So what else I've been playing? So Swamp Thing. It's not good, but if you like Swamp Thing, it's worth playing. It is pretty expensive, but worth checking out. Just because you could say I played Swamp Thing, it's better than Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
But it's pretty.
It is. Well, I mean, it's an NES game, so it's got Swamp Thing on the cover. Though.
Man, I was talking about this to somebody earlier. Box art will never be cool as it was back in the day. Like for NES days, SNES days,
Atari.
box art is never going to be that cool again. It was just so cool. And I never knew. This is super fascinating. So they would actually hire an artist to do a painting on a large...
You were telling me this. This is awesome.
It's so amazing. On a large canvas, like 24 by 36. I don't think they did anything smaller than like 16 by something.
That would be awesome. Like a big Contra or something.
Yes. Yeah. And that actually exists. And the artist would paint this portrait, however the video game people, developers, whatever, told them that they wanted it to look like. And then they would take photos of this art, and then that would become the box art.
So they paid some poor freak to paint the American Mega Man art.
Yes.
Do you think he made good money on that? Do you think he's proud of that artwork?
I don't know, but it's just really cool. And there are actually people out there that collect, these pieces of art.
I imagine it's quite expensive too.
Yeah, and spend like thousands and thousands. I read an article about someone who was looking for, gosh, I can't remember right now what it was. And he was willing to pay up to $100,000 if anybody could tell him where he could acquire this. And it's because it's rumored that it was destroyed. So, anyway. So he's like, if it exists, I want it, and I'll pay $100,000 for it. So, yeah, he's serious collector, but I thought that was like super cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Video game artwork is awesome, especially the older stuff.
I would hope
you had to sell your game with that artwork, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially NES and backwards.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like because if you look at stuff like Adventure, I keep mentioning Adventure because it's one of those quintessential games, but it literally is Square going through maze. But you had to imagine it was like you were the hero going through the dungeon to go kill the dragon, and the dragon looks like a big floating duck monster. So it's just not, you really had to sell that game with that cover.
And I will go back to this forever until the end of time, like as long as I'm alive, because I love it. But the box art from Mylon Secret Castle, just saying,
looks
is
so
amazing.
Little like the game. It's this big dark castle, and
I was so drawn to this cover because it's like at nighttime, there's this huge castle like in the darkness. There's lightning behind the castle. It just looks so legit. And I was a kid, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to play this. What the heck is this?
That's
and
marketing
then I
at work,
popped it
kids.
in. I popped it in, and it's Mylon Secret
It's
Castle.
this little pumpkin like a nighty blowing bubbles at people.
With the nicest and greatest music ever. Totally not scary, but really cool. Still has dragons, and oh gosh, you know how I feel about Mylon Secret Castle. I love it so much. But that box art, it was the reason why I played it, because it was amazing.
Oh man, all right.
Yeah, true story.
We'll move on. So all kinds of cool stuff is coming out in March. Like there was, there's always the bit of the early year drought, like January, February. Like there's a couple of cool things come out, but wow, I was just looking at the list of games being released in March, and these aren't all of them, but like, if you care, there's a new baseball game coming out. And by all means, if you like baseball,
a small title.
There's a small title.
Not very popular.
Oh yeah,
it's called MLB, I think.
Oh, was it the shoe? Oh, the show.
Shoe.
Sorry,
MLB the shoe.
No, more power to if you like sports games.
Yeah,
please.
no, absolutely.
It's not my cup of tea. But then again, neither
Mine
is
either.
sports. I mean, I'll watch one of the few games I'll watch baseball. I know everyone thinks I'm weird because everyone thinks baseball is boring.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that think baseball.
Yeah, but people also watch soccer, so I mean, not everyone's...
Well, maybe not now that Houston has a winning team, but...
I guess miracles really do happen. Hey, but who knows? Maybe the Texans will actually win sometime before we're dead.
Oh, goodness. Nah. See, I don't keep up with that stuff. You know what I do like, though? I like boxing.
Boxing is boxing? I guess boxing is a sport.
I like watching people
I guess just the sport of people bashing the crap out of each other. I don't know. But boxing is a lot of fun, though. Anyways, way off. Welcome to Tangent Cast, episode 26. So, cool games come out this month. Just going to run down a list of things that we think particularly cool. So, coming out in a couple days, Final Fantasy 15 Royal. Is that Royale with Cheese edition?
Final Fantasy 15 Royale with Cheese.
Yes. Ooh.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition.
That's okay. I'm screwing up all
it's
over
like
the
Game of the Year edition, but it's also coming out for PC. So I'm gonna get it again for PC because that means you can play it like prettier, nicer graphics and more stable frame rates and everything, which is great.
Was there a season pass for Final Fantasy?
Yes.
15? Really?
Yes.
Where have I been?
Apparently under a rock. But that's the reason why I'm buying it. Because they did several story upgrades. They added stuff to it. They added different episodes where you could play as the other characters like Gladiolus and Prompto and Ignis.
Yeah.
You get to play as Iggy. Yay.
How cute. Does this one have a happy ending?
Well, they've talked about possibly actually that's something else.
Should I have said spoiler alert?
Spoilers for Final Fantasy 15. It has a happy ending.
Final Fantasy 15 is like 2 years old. If you haven't played it yet,
it has a happy ending. Brit's wrong.
It does not.
It's debatable. Okay, so we've had a Final Fantasy show before, but the ending of Final Fantasy is the main character Noctis dies saving his kingdom, and his rewards he gets to spend eternity with his love, and they get to rule their kingdom in the afterlife. That's a happy ending.
Here's the deal.
That's a good ending.
They're dead.
Yes.
And their kingdom is in shambles.
But their kingdom will recover because the bad guy's dead.
How do you know that? Anybody could sweep in and be like, "Oh yeah, mine now," because he's dead.
But the other three, his other three buddies are there to save the day.
And you know what? Try saying that to his people. Okay, they're probably
his
like, we have to rebuild our entire lives. His people are
kind of all dead, so there isn't. but Noctis gets a happy ending. Screw them.
Oh my.
The guy with the pretty hair that looks like Tien, he gets a happy ending.
Oh my god, he does look like Tien! I see it! I'm sorry, Tien, it does look like you.
Just don't say that Tien looks like Noctis. It's the other way around.
It's the other way around. Okay. Yes. I don't have to say that when I see it.
I'm going to get that because it does have all the extra DLC, which I've specifically not played.
It would just be really great if they weren't dead. That's all I'm saying.
The directors have talked about, like, do you guys want a happy ending?
Yes.
Like a really happy ending?
Yes.
Scrubs. And he's like walked away and dropped the mic. I think I really liked the ending. I thought it was a good ending.
Yeah, no, I guess.
The game's about sacrifice and stuff like that.
If you can get past the fact that they're dead, sure.
But that's okay because then they get to be together forever. So that's good. You aren't romantic.
Maybe.
You aren't romantic at heart.
But you know what? He could have been hallucinating, or something.
Yeah, but why would they hallucinate a cutscene though?
When your body cuts off oxygen to the brain, you hallucinate. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but this is a video game.
That's all I'm saying.
He was already talking to his ancestors before he was dying.
So I just need to know. There has to be something that says,
call up Nomura. I mean, I know you didn't actually do this whole game by yourself, but I forget the name of the other guy. So you talk to him. All right.
I met some of the developers for 15,
you met the two of them.
And if Matt can find the picture, you can post it if you want
Tien's
to.
Got it.
No. I have that picture on my phone.
Oh, we were just like, hey.
Yeah, and it. They were so nice. They didn't speak a lot of English.
But they were really cute.
But they were really sweet. And he pulled me into like a huge bear hug and I accidentally slobbered on his arm because it was completely unexpected.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. It was completely unexpected. And I'm like, I'm so sorry I just slobbered on your arm. But it was really nice. They were really friendly. It's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Anyway,
so Final Fantasy 15 Royale with Cheese Edition.
Royale with Cheese.
Far Cry 5 is coming out this month.
Yes.
Far Cry has always been awesome, except for 2. 2 sucked. But I remember getting 1 and it melting my computer and me having to get a new graphics card to play Far Cry 1 because it was having all these weird graphical artifacts show up and everything. And so when I was first learning to build computers was with Far Cry. That game was great. Good memories. But then Far Cry 3 was amazing. You know the meaning of insanity and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then 4 with what was it named?
They're
Nolan,
villains.
not Nolan.
It was
the other
Pagan
one. Yeah, but the voice actor guy. It was Booker
Oh,
DeWitt.
no, I don't know.
The other guy who's now in everything. I forget his name, but whatever.
Are you talking about the guy?
He was Booker DeWitt.
Yeah, Booker.
And also everything else.
His name, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's really going to irritate me.
We're just going to say the guy who plays Pagan Min.
Pagan Min, yeah.
And lots of other things. But So he was fantastic, and that game had co-op. And the thing I'm looking forward to with 5 is 5 also has co-op in it. And I love co-oping through Far Cry. Far Cry is as close to a stealth game as I will get, because I can stealth for a little while and like, screw it, rocket launcher. And not really get punished for it, so it's okay. So that's good. Another one on here I think you're going to be into, Britt, is Witch and the 100 Night
Yes,
2.
I am so stoked that they're remastering that. I'm really shocked that they chose that to remaster, and I'm really shocked
Remaster,
that...
what are you talking about?
Oh, just kidding.
No, this isn't the remaster.
Just kidding.
This is the sequel.
This is not... Yeah, sequel.
What is with you
My
remasters?
bad.
That was
I don't
over
know.
a month
I have
ago.
remasters in my mind. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking the remaster of Dragon's Crown.
Yeah, we
That's
were
what
talking
I was
about
thinking.
that. Well,
So, yes,
they remastered
Witch
Witch
and
and the 100 Night
Night
too.
Yes, they did.
It was like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. No, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago? I don't know.
I
Don't give
wanna
me
say
time.
it was a while ago.
But this looks awesome. Witch and the 100 Night one was awesome.
My bad.
Natalia was great. I don't think you play as her anymore, but she was amazing in Disgaea 5 as a DLC character. She was just God.
Aww.
It was amazing. What else is coming out? Kirby? Have you played the demo for Kirby Star Allies yet, Brittany?
Yes, it's really cute.
It is pretty good.
It is a Kirby.
That is kind of like the blessing and the curse of a Kirby game was they're all kind of the exact same game.
But you know what? That's why I like Kirby's, because they're really fun and they're super chill, and I know that I can go in there and just play it and
just
have
hold
fun with
right
it,
on the D-pad and
I
win.
Don't have to be the best gamer in the universe, which is fine. It's fun. It's fun. It doesn't have to be the most complicated system ever. It doesn't have to have the best graphics in the universe. It's mind-blowing 4K.
I would like if it was a little bit more
But
challenging, though.
it's really cool.
Every
It's
Kirby
fun.
game I play, I enjoy them for a while. But even
they're so fun.
the Planet Robot Opotamus, whatever it was called, the name that I can never remember for the rest of my life, full of robots, I got really bored with it because it was super easy. And I think it is true. When a game is too easy, it gets boring kind of quickly. And this Kirby does seem to be the same thing, where you can have up to 4-player co-op, not online because Nintendo's an idiot.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker, that's his name. Troy Baker, the voice of Kirby.
Sorry. That was a million years ago.
Troy
I
Baker,
apologize. But I'm like,
that's the guy,
God, it's
yeah.
on the tip of my
Thank
tongue. It was
you.
really bothering me.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
couldn't
cool.
stop thinking about it. That's why I think I was talking about Witch in the 100 Night is a remaster.
Troy Baker.
Meanwhile, I'm just thinking about Bioshock. Like, who is this guy?
I love this man's voice. But so I don't get how Nintendo's doing this awesome 4-player game and it doesn't have online multiplayer. I mean, just
that's a little strange.
Forever behind the times. Nintendo once again just proving that they're still kind of behind the times.
But you know what? You don't need, just invite some friends over.
And that's great.
You're fine.
Don't get me wrong. I love couch co-op. I'd prefer
Yes.
couch co-op.
And you know what?
over.
There's not enough of those.
There is not.
Truly.
But the option to have online would also be great. So, I don't know, but I often have
concur.
like 4 people over at once. I might have like 2, but I don't know, but either way. So it's coming out. We played the demo, which you have to have a UK or Japanese account for because us poor Americans can't have it, which is stupid, but whatever. Once again, Nintendo.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you can't have it on your account. I have it set
You were
to
just
the
like,
UK.
hey, play this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Yep. Because the American version, unless this has changed today, but it's been
It
out for a
probably
couple
changed.
days.
I would be really surprised if it didn't.
As of this recording, it wasn't. So we'll
Though
see.
you know what, Kirby sells really well anyway. You don't need a demo.
It's just stupid that
Kirby's
the
gonna
American,
be good.
Us Americans don't get Kirby,
sorry.
but the Brits and the Japanese folks do.
It's gonna be good,
weird.
though.
But whatever. So I mean, it's good. It's Kirby. It's Kirby with 4 players. The AI companions are kind of annoying. I'm going to go ahead and say it. They are. But if you have 4 humans playing, it would probably be a complete blast. So go Kirby. What else? Oh my goodness, that's right. Sea of Thieves comes out this month.
Oh my gosh.
Another game
yeah.
I was going to mention and now playing, but I saved it for this list. So I was just as of 2 or 3 days ago, there was another scale stress test for Sea of Thieves. I love this game. Sea of Thieves, I think it's going to be one of those games.
It's cute. I played a little bit of it. I think probably 30, 45 minutes of
if
it.
that.
And what hurts my soul is that I get motion sick, so it's hard for me to play. That's why a lot of my favorite games tend to be in a third-person
Especially
perspective.
a game on a
with
boat
the
in the
exception
ocean.
of Bioshock, I will get sick all day, every day for that game. I love that game. It doesn't matter.
That's a great tagline. Bioshock
yeah.
Infinite. You'll throw up for it.
I mean, I will. And if anybody who knows me personally, you know that's a huge thing because motion sickness
if you
hits me hard.
shake her, she gets queasy. It's hilarious.
And it's awful, and I feel miserable forever afterwards. So for me to sacrifice that for for BioShock, yes, it's a huge deal.
Yeah,
I love
figured
that game
Sea of Thieves
so
would mess you
much.
because that game does get pretty wibbly-wobbly when you're in a storm or something.
So I want to play it because I had fun and I thought it was cute once I got used to the controls, because I had to get used to that. And I never play with an Xbox One controller.
Yeah, that's
weird. Really weird for me. So having to learn the Xbox One controller on top of those controls, it was a little weird. But once I started getting the hang of it, I actually really liked it. It was really fun. It's quirky.
You're playing Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, and I love Pirates of the
really
Caribbean.
Good.
Come on, who doesn't?
And I've talked about it before, but I mean, it's just so much fun, and I will just be the largest troll in that game, or I'll join like a ship full of other players, and I'll go on there and just decide to be the judge of their quality as pirates. And I know it's horrible, but I'll go on there and I'll talk about like, hey guys, how's it going? You know, whatever. And if they don't talk, if they don't have mics, it is my mission to ruin their day.
That's horrible.
I know it is. It's just an excuse
what if
for
they
me.
Can't get on? You know, like mic wise.
I know, or they can't even like talk or like chat or do anything. Like they just don't acknowledge you're there. I'm like, man, that's rude. I'll immediately go down below decks and see if they have treasure, and if they do, I'll just drop it out the back of the boat. And then see if I can like blow their ship up or set it on fire and just all this other like horrible stuff. It's good to be a pirate.
I will definitely play it, but it'll have to be in small increments, unfortunately.
Right.
So whoever plays with me will have to bear with me or I'll have to take like Dramamine or something.
Of course.
to keep from getting sick. But I want to play it so badly because I want to play to see the Kraken. Yes, I am obsessed with like squiddies and octopi.
Squiddies. And this one is big.
Yes, so I'm like, oh yes, the Kraken. The only thing is, I refuse to kill it. I just want to let you know in advance.
We're killing that squid.
No, we're not.
We're murdering it.
I'm gonna offer myself as a snack, and it's it. We're done.
Oh God, it looks so
Absolutely
horrifying
fine.
too. Ew. Sea monsters are scary. I don't like sea monsters. It's creepy.
It's cool.
Good Lord. Okay, rounding this off and leading us into our topic here is Ni no Kuni 2.
Ni no Kuni. I refuse
a sequel to an amazing game that Britt refuses to play.
I refuse to play it. I can't. Now, this one better not be sad because then
it's a
I'll play
Ghibli
it.
game. It's probably going to be depressing as hell.
No, it's actually not Studio Ghibli. It's doing the cutscenes or whatever.
Yeah.
It does look Ghibli-esque because it's artists from Studio Ghibli. But if I am not mistaken, now correct me if I'm wrong. Just don't be mean about it, okay? But like,
be mean about it. You fool.
But I don't think it's actually Studio Ghibli. I think it's just artists that work for
so
Studio Ghibli.
there's hope that it's not going to be completely depressing.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I talked about this to someone else the other day. Like everything Ghibli, there's an undertone of sadness to it.
It's like they're Japanese Disney. Like we
I don't
just
know what
watched
it is.
Coco,
that
Pixar movie. My God. That movie was depressing.
It was really good.
Like
though.
it was happy, but it was like, when you're dead and people forget you, you die again, and all this
God,
like
that's
horrible
so
stuff. I'm like,
don't
wow,
like that.
Disney, children, for children. I'm crying and I'm an
But
adult.
it had a good message. Like, yeah, it was really good.
Make sure people remember you are fried
Well.
when you die. Like you go bye-bye. That's a good message.
But
Be famous or you will just disappear into dust.
Family is important. That was the message overall. But yeah, everything there's even Kiki's delivery service. Like I don't know what it is, but there is just like it's a
Phil
happy
Hartman.
movie. I love Kiki. It's a happy movie, but there is still that undertone of sadness to it. It's just everything. There's a tinge of sadness, and you don't know exactly where it comes from. You can't put your finger on it, but there's just a tinge of sadness to everything that Ghibli does.
So hopefully this
man.
one will not be like tear-jerking because I'm going to play it regardless.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get you to play one because one was fantastic and one had a great message too. I mean, mind you, it was about accepting death, but still,
Yeah.
it's a really good game, fantastic story, beautiful music by Joe Hiyashi. So hopefully this one will be as good, if maybe not quite as depressing.
Did you hear, though, that supposedly, I don't know how true this is, that Miyazaki is actually coming out of retirement
Of freaking
to
course
do
he is.
one more movie, he says. So we'll see.
That man won't be making
know.
movies until he dies.
Yeah, I bet.
Because he loves it
I
so
bet.
much, I think.
And I heard that, I heard that. I don't know how true it is, but I hope so.
I like to imagine people like Miyazaki are just troubled by visions of like things to do, and if he doesn't do it, I think he'll just lose his mind.
Just go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he must create.
Yeah,
What an
aw.
amazing curse to have.
That is
right?
amazing, yeah.
He's that man. See, Japanese Colonel Sanders.
I used to not like any Ghibli movies.
Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Baka, baka, baka,
Cookie by
baka,
Cookie.
baka, baka, baka.
Yeah, baka, 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 baka. And And it wasn't until much later in life, except Kiki. Kiki was the exception. I loved Kiki as a child.
Well, you liked Totoro when you were a kid. You don't like it very much now.
No, I did not like Totoro when I was a kid. I like Totoro more now.
I think Totoro's boring.
Yeah, reverse.
I'm kind of selective with Ghibli movies, where I really like Spirited Away. I liked his...
oh, God. Spirited Away is fantastic.
Miyazaki's last one, The Wind Rises, was very good.
Oh, my God. It's so sad.
That was a lot less cartoony for Miyazaki. That was still cartoony, but it was a lot more serious.
Yeah, for sure.
That was really, really good. What else did I really like? I really liked Legend of Earthsea, which wasn't actually Miyazaki. I think that was like his son or his brother or something. That one was also really, really good, yeah. I didn't really care for Princess Mononoke.
You know what? I haven't seen that one yet.
It was okay.
That one's on my list.
Japanese Fern
Because I was going through them. I really want to watch that one because I love just the way she looks. I think it's really cool.
Best way I can describe it is it's Japanese Fern Gully.
Oh.
Mind you, all of his movies kind of are.
But you know, it'll be really sad. Yeah, he always has a good message. Yeah. But when I was a kid, I didn't like them, with the exception of Kiki.
They're kind of scary.
But I don't think I really gave them an honest to God chance. And then I kind of like blew it off, you know, because it's like, who doesn't like, you know, Miyazaki movies and
hipster bit.
And then I know it's terrible of me. But then one of my friends was like, okay, I will let you borrow my entire collection. Just promise me that you'll give them a chance. And I said, okay. And I watched a few of them and I was like, heck yes, these are really great. Did you ever watch
Castle Cagliostro?
What?
The Lupin the Third movie? It's not officially Ghibli, but Miyazaki did it.
Really?
Before Ghibli. I mean, it's Lupin the Third, so I mean, it's fantastic. But anyways, sorry, moving right along, because once again, we have derailed.
Oh, but Ni no Kuni too.
Yes.
Cat ears?
Yes.
I don't even know what that's about, but I'm so stoked. Because cute ears, and it better not be sad, and that's it.
Speaking of cat ears, can we talk about Xenoblade for just 1 second here, and how the best character is Nia, because Cat Girl is always best girl.
Let it go.
Let's just put it right there. She's this cute little cat. She's a feisty, cute little cat girl.
This one is a cat boy,
perfect,
which is amazing.
I mean, that's okay too, I guess. I mean, you know, cute is as cute does. I'm not going to judge. That's fine.
Real.
As long as I can pet the ears.
So precious.
Okay, let's go.
But yeah, if it's not sad, hopefully it's not sad. But I refuse to play the first one because I know that it's sad, and I can't.
I'm gonna just drag us along here by the scruff of the neck. Question of the month.
Yes.
Okay, so this show is about
I don't know,
JRPGs. We'll say, and I like to say non-Final Fantasy, because you've got Final Fantasy, a game that has 15 sequels. Plus spin-offs. So you've got this plus, there's 10 and there's 10-2. And there's 13, 1, 2, and 3. And there's Legends. And then there's Adventure. And then there's
your online.
And there's just two. The online was 11 and 14.
11 and 14, yeah.
But there's so many. And then you have games like Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior here. But then it became Dragon Quest, where that has, I think, 11 or 12 or some kind of and then there's Dragon Quest Builders. And
Which you count Bravely Default as kind of like a branch of Final Fantasy because it's
not at all.
Squeenix.
No, just because it's Squeenix, it is not Final Fantasy.
And it's so reminiscent of a Final Fantasy, though.
That's like I would include. When I think of Final Fantasy, for some reason, I throw Chrono Trigger into the
Isn't it the same creative
lump,
team?
It's not. Part of the people, yes.
Okay.
But it is not, though. So this question is JRPGs that don't fall into that category that need a sequel, or that you would love to see a sequel. It could be just that needs a part 2, or that hasn't had one in a while that needs to have a continuation.
Oh, Lord.
I can go first, because I can go on for days about this.
I'm not sure.
There's a few that I have a list of my favorite JRPGs on Final Fantasy, so some of these games are that. What else? Legend of Dragoon. This one's for John, if he listens to this. Legend of Dragoon for PS1 was an amazing game made by Sony. Really cool kind of timing-based combat where you could, do crits and increase combos by getting these timing things right. Like how Mario RPG had, where if you time the button press, you do more damage. Mm-hmm. Or, kind of like mini quick time events. Ugh. This had that, but a long time ago. That was fantastic. And if I'm not mistaken, was supposed to have sequels, and then just didn't. It came out towards the end of the PS1's life cycle, and then PS2 came out, and we just never saw or heard from it again.
Huh.
So that's a bit of a sad face. I like more of that. That would be good. Please, Sony. Please.
Gosh, this is so hard for me because all of my favorite JRPGs have sequels.
Oh, you loser.
I don't know.
If you generally can't think of one, that's fine. I've got a couple I'm saving. Like, the big one I really, really, really want a sequel for is on my list, so I'm not going to say it. Uh-huh. But there's other stuff out there that you could say would probably be really cool, sequel wise. But then again, do we really want one right now? Like, I could say Chrono Trigger, because you had Chrono Cross, which was a quasi sequel spinoff that was good in its own right. It definitely wasn't Chrono Trigger. you could say Chrono Trigger deserves a sequel of the same quality as the first Chrono Trigger. I doubt we'd ever get it, though. What? Sorry.
I was going to say, I know that what I think would be cool. It's one of the games that's on my list, though, so I don't know if I should
Okay,
say
well,
it.
we will just save it then.
Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I will save it.
Yeah.
Although, how would that work as a sequel?
No. It doesn't even have to be a sequel. Just be like that game, that with characters like, or those characters.
Yeah.
And make it like really cool, not super realistic, but for the consoles.
I think we probably need to get to your list because I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm trying to think of, like, there's 3 games on your list, and I'm trying to think of all. I'm like, well, that got a sequel.
Oh, do you not know which
and
one?
that got a sequel.
Well, the only one on there that doesn't have a sequel.
Okay, so this is we'll
because you can see my
We'll
list.
quit being cryptic. We're gonna take a break, and then we'll come back and talk about our favorite non-Final Fantasy or any heavily sequeled JRPGs. We'll say.
Go get some food.
Go get some food. Hey everyone, Matt here, and has this ever happened to you? You're in your local Game Over looking for a specific game and they don't have it. Not to worry, friends, GameOverVideogames.com has got your back. Just go to our website and chances are we'll have what you need.
But Matt, I don't want to pay any shipping fees.
How did you get into my house? Not to worry, random lady. Just select the pick up and store option and we'll send it to the Game Over store of your choice within 30 days at no extra cost to you. So hop on today and check it out. GameOverVideogames.com, making retro gaming easier with the power of the internet. Welcome back to Game Overcast, episode 26. If you've just joined us,
We're back.
Where have you been for the past 40 minutes? I don't know. It's like, I still want to start the show from here. Click. Just hopefully get all of Matt's crap out of the way and then get to the good part.
It's skippers. They're like,
the skippers.
We just want to hear your games, okay?
Just talk about the games, bruh.
Right.
Good luck. Okay, so we have just these are actually quite short lists. I tried to make a short list.
Yeah.
Try to keep it to 3 games apiece of our favorite JRPGs.
You know, the most challenging thing for me, because we've done so many episodes, was
not mentioning the same game more than
yes,
once. Yeah.
not mentioning the same game twice. And I tried, but I'm pretty sure I may have mentioned
I just
one
said
of these.
screw it.
Yeah.
I mean, these are my.
I should have done that.
Well,
no.
these are my favorite games for a reason.
Yeah. Okay. Damn.
Okay, so we just figure we go back and forth because we always do. It's fun.
Okay. Yeah.
So here's a problem. So my first game, and it's on this very glibly.
Again?
So I have Xeno ...
I'm gonna gag you.
Because I wasn't sure what to put, because Xenogears is very easily one of my favorite JRPGs ever. So good, but I've really been enjoying Xenoblade 2.
God, I can't wait until you're done with this game. Like, really done.
I mean, only another 70 hours, I'm sure, and then I'll be finished with it probably. Until I'm going to play till I get Cosmos.
Every time I see him, it's like, so about Xenoblade.
And she walks away,
no.
slams the door in my face. Don't go home. No. Don't talk to me anymore. I'll come over here and be playing on my Switch. She's like, are you still playing that game? You beat the game last week.
Game.
Like, yeah, but super
you put
bosses,
like
bro.
500 hours into that game.
And now it's like new
bruh.
game plus, bro. I still don't have Cosmos. I've only opened 10 million cores. I still don't have Cosmos yet. Sorry. I'm gonna get Cosmos and just break my Switch in half and set it on fire. I'm like, done.
Oh no. Sacrifice to the gods.
So this is a tough call. I don't really want to have to make it. Can I just say Xeno
whatever.
Universe?
Xeno
all
whatever.
of it?
Sure.
That game's had like...
I'll take it. I'll let you.
So you had Xenogears, Saga 1, 2, 3, Blade 1, Blade 2, and Blade X. So that's... I've lost count. I think it's about 6? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 games. So that probably shouldn't even be on this list anyways, but screw it. I'm going to go ahead and say Gears because that's the better game, even though I kind of want to say Blade 2 right now. I'm mad at myself for saying that. Just because that's what's currently on my mind, and I've put a lot of hours in that game, and I'm probably going to put a lot more into it. Don't give me that look, okay? You don't understand, all right? I've seen the opening when you beat New Game Plus, and it's amazing. Like the openings, like at certain points of the game, you get different like opening menus to turn the game on, and when you beat. Okay, spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. When you beat the game the first time, the opening menu is the main character Rex holding hands with both Pyra and Mithra. So spoilers, once again, spoilers! Because this is still recently new. When you beat the game, they split. Because during the game, they're 2 halves of the same whole. And you can switch between them. Where Pyra's like the one that cooks, then And Mithra is like the really like sassy, like, don't look at me like that. How dare you? It's not like I want to help you. That kind of character. You know what I'm talking about. She's the Asuka kind of character.
There's a name for that kind of character. I forgot what it is.
Tsundere, I think
yes.
it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's like that. But in the end of the game, they split. So Rex kind of literally gets the harem ending.
That's so Japanese.
It is so much. But if you beat New Game Plus, Nia joins the group. It's like, yay, cat girl, best girl. So I have to beat the game again. Don't judge me any more than you already have.
Kill me now. Just kidding.
It's like, yay. I'll show you the video. I saw the video where like it's them starting and then Rex like backs away, like waves Nia over and she's like, yay. And she like hops in the camera. It's like, and then the whole world cheered.
Oh, God.
Like, cat girls get love too for once, finally. What?
All right, I'm cutting you off.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. So we'll say Xenoblade 2 for now, but go on, Brent.
Okay.
Cat girl, best girl.
Oh, God. Okay, so which one should I mention first? Okay, I'm just going to go with Rune Factory 4.
Which is an interesting choice, being that it's a Harvest Moon game.
Yeah, well, it's the creative team, I think, that did Harvest Moon, but they don't do Harvest Moon anymore.
You can tell.
Can you?
Harvest Moon sucks.
I haven't played a Harvest Moon in
my humble opinion. I think Harvest Moon is pretty garbage now.
It's been a really long time, but Rune Factory is just so great because it has all of the perfect elements. I think if you like Harvest Moon, but then Rune Factory also added English is hard. A lot of RPG elements.
And now the rest of the show will be done with interpretive dance. It's a shame video is dead.
Cue the music, yeah.
It does have a bunch of RPG elements in it, where you have like weapons with stats. And
yeah.
I was thinking to myself, well, what exactly is an RPG? And if you want to be really loose with the term, role-playing game is a game where you step into the role of something else. So technically, Madden 11 is a role-playing game. If you want to be like really far out there, where you are like the dark wizard of like you are like, Dark Lord Madden controlling your forces.
And your football is your wand.
Your football is like lightning bolt.
Is your source of power.
It's the magic missile.
Oh, goodness.
But okay, so that's stretching it. But you know what I mean. But Rune Factory is 100%. You think RPG, you have like weapons with stats and you can level up and get abilities.
And actually, that's a huge part of like growing your character and like moving forward with your character is like all of the weapons that you forge and stuff.
You learn to make level 6 cabbage.
Yeah. And the items that you collect. And then, of course, you go. So it's really cool. So you start. It's really weird story. So you're this person on this airship. And
airships are cool.
Airships are pretty cool. And it's amazing. The art style is like super stunning too. Anyway, you're going to this land to make an offering to their god. It's really strange.
So you were doing a religious. What's the word for that?
Yeah.
It's not an expedition.
A pilgrimage.
There you go.
Yes. And then, I guess so. And then something goes wrong.
Did you like fall out of the boat?
You end up falling out of the boat of the airship.
So you jump the ship.
You end up falling out. Anyway, you land in this land and you get amnesia. It's always amnesia.
Wow, that's an original story right there.
It's always amnesia. Anyway, you have amnesia.
Are you the bad guy at the end of the story too?
And then they think that you are the prince or the princess, depending on the way you answer the question. So.
Are you a boy or a girl? I'm not sure.
But yeah, it asks you a question when you start the game, and depending on how you answer, it determines your gender. Yeah. And so, anyway.
Never that easy. Sorry.
So you can't remember, and you're like, oh my gosh, you can't remember. And then they're like, we think you're the princess or the prince. And you're like, what? I don't think that's right. And then the real prince and princess comes along, and they're like, you can do my job. So
that's very Animal Crossing. Where it's like, welcome, you're the mayor.
Yeah. And so
what qualifications in past criminal record? Here you go.
And so you have to build your life and you run errands for people. But then there's also like a side story in this one. And there's dungeons that you go into and there's monsters that you fight. And sometimes the monsters, you can recruit them.
Are there cat girls?
I don't know. I'm sure. There's all kinds of stuff with ears. Yeah.
Stuff with ears. I mean, yes, anthropomorphized animals everywhere.
I'm like trying to go through the game in my head. I'm pretty sure there are.
There might be a possum.
Because it's super fantasy with like a lot of fantastical characters, but it's actually really fun, and I like the whole aspect of it has that Harvest Moon aspect, and then it also has that fantasy aspect where you can go into the dungeons and fight stuff, and some of the monsters are actually humans that were turned into monsters, so you save them. It's really cool. I like that one.
And there's cabbage.
And cabbage for the win, I guess.
Yay. Okay, back onto my list. We have I noticed there's
No, I'm kidding.
I wasn't even going to mention Xeno anything. I was going to say it's kind of funny. Most of my games here, I really like games with sky pirates and like airships.
Sky pirates are pretty cool.
Because Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it's on the cloud sea where it's like the ocean, but it's clouds and everything like floats in the clouds, and you're like a salvager and you're like this like ruffian. So Skies of Arcadia is my other game. I was going to mention I like Xenoblade a lot because it reminds me. I keep going back to Xenoblade, and you're just going to punch me within the show.
I like your notes here, Skies of Arcadia, because duh.
Yeah, pretty much, right? It gives me a very big Skies of Arcadia vibe, which I love Skies of Arcadia. It was probably it wasn't the first, but one of the first not Final Fantasy RPGs I really got way into. There's the other one on my list is the first one, but I played it on a Dreamcast. I borrowed my friend's Dreamcast because I never actually owned one. And this game was with it. And I just sat there and I played it over the summer. This game is phenomenal. Skies of Arcadia, obviously, for the Dreamcast, and then released later as Skies of Arcadia Legends for the GameCube, where they added some content that they didn't make into the first copy, like an extra character and stuff like that. It's a really cool girl with a scythe. Hi-ya! But just a really cool, like, kind of traditional fantasy game, except you're on airships. So you fly around with this little thing into this goofy guy with a blue jacket and an eye patch that isn't really an eye patch. It's like this see-through plastic monocle. And these goofy little swords, and this girl who might or may not be an alien from the moon, and there's really good turn-based combat, and there's amazing airship combat, which was the really cool parts of the game was the airship combat, because it was this tactical thing where you had to manage your fuel, and the less you attack, the more powerful your attacks were. It was just fantastic game, great open world. Play that game to death. Good game, yeah. Sky Pirates. I don't think there was a cat girl in it, though, actually, which I think is actually lowering my overall score, now that I think about it, unfortunately. Dang.
Are we ranking games by according to cat
like
girl?
the cat girl scale? the nya meter? No.
Oh, man.
No, I will not sink that low. I cannot. Sorry, Britt, go ahead.
Okay, so the next one on my list, I've tried really hard to put games that I may have talked about this before, but I tried really hard to think of fresh games that I haven't talked about, but it would be Wizard of Oz Beyond the Yellow Brick Road for the DS.
Interesting choice.
It's actually a really good game. I picked it up because it was Wizard of Oz and Wizard of Oz. God, say that 5 times fast. It's really hard.
Wizard of Oz.
So you're like, yeah.
What a wish he was?
Anyway.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
But it's really cool because it has this really quirky aspect to it, I guess.
I'm detecting a pattern here, Brittany.
It's just, yeah. It's just really cool. I like the little Japanese twist that they added to it. So, it plays like a traditional RPG. So it's turn-based. Or I should say a traditional turn-based RPG.
There you go.
And your characters level up. You earn items like potions and stuff. So it starts out, and I love that everything is so anime looking. I really love that Dorothy, seeing the Wizard of Oz in an anime style is really, really cool. But you are swept up by a tornado, you and Toto, and you go to Oz. And you meet the wizard, and the wizard tells you, okay, well, I'll grant your wishes, but you have to defeat these 4 witches and collect 10 eggs from them altogether. And
whoa. Hold the phone.
Yep.
I may have tuned out there for a second.
Yep.
I heard beat witches and steal their eggs.
Yes.
Are these witches pelicans?
They have these special golden eggs or something.
So this isn't traditional Wizard of Oz story, is
No,
what you're telling me.
it's Wizard of Oz, but with a super huge twist on it. There's more elements added. But it would make sense, right? That the wizard wouldn't be the only wizard in Wizard of Oz.
I know, but
except he wasn't really a wizard in Wizard of Oz.
It's not the witch part, it's the egg part that's really kind of really bothering me here.
For some reason, he just wants these magical eggs.
The wizard is just James Franco, so
But
he may not be magical, but he's magical, if you know what I mean.
I just really like that. I think it's a really nifty. And then there's all sorts of creatures and a lot of...
Do they have eggs too?
No. And a lot of yokai-looking monsters and stuff. So it's really cool because you're in Oz, but you see this completely different side of Oz. They added this nice little twist.
That's awesome.
Kind of reminds me of Return to Oz.
Really? I love that movie.
I love that movie. That movie's so cool.
Such
it had
a
that
freaky movie.
Really cool twist.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit different, a little bit darker. I heard that. Okay, so sorry, I'm branching off, but I heard
Tangent
that we were
alert.
yeah, I heard that we were supposed to get a Wizard of Oz horror movie.
Oh my.
And if that happens, I will be so happy.
Kind of like a American McGee's Alice.
I heard the rumors and I was in tears. I'm like, please give that movie to me now, because that is such a great idea.
But think how
this
bad that could be,
Oz.
though. Like,
it could be
really.
bad, but if it's done well, and I have faith. So it'd
Well, you
be
gotta
really
have
cool.
faith.
But yeah, what I love about
guess
this,
it
one
would
of
be
my
nice.
one of my favorite scenes in this game. So the witches have these like cat guardians, and you come
They
across
guard
them.
the eggs.
And you come across them occasionally, and one of the kitties is so funny, and he screams at you that you're his junior, so you have to get him a juice box.
That's very Japanese.
It is. I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so good.
I'm your senpai. Go get me
Yes,
juice.
give me a juice box. It's so fantastic. And they're so cute. The art style is amazing. So, if you like traditional turn-based RPGs, you will. This one's definitely unique
And I don't
worth
see that
playing.
very much either.
Yeah,
It definitely seems like it's kind of an under-the-radar game.
I picked it up as soon as it came out, which was many years ago, and I don't see it very often.
See, I like you having you on the show because you like some weird stuff.
I do.
And, all of my stuff is very kind of traditional, like, what's this, Xenoblade or Gears and Skies of Arcadia and Breath of Fire and all this crap that people, like, you've got some cool stuff on there. Like,
Thank you.
I've never heard of a Witch's Tale before. You mentioned it.
Oh god,
Like,
I
that's
love
an
that
interesting
game.
little
So
thing.
that was one that I thought about adding on here. That is totally an honorable mention, because that's such a fantastic game. That one's also for the DS. So if you can find that, whoever's listening to this, those are two excellent
That's right,
games.
you right there.
Yes,
Pick it up,
excellent
Dusty.
games. Find Wizard of Oz, Be on the Yellow Brick Road. It is really, really good and worth playing. And so is A Witch's Tale.
Sweet. Well, my last game is, and I mention this game a lot. I'm sorry. I will do so until the end of time because it is a very special game to me personally. And it's just a really good game. That's Lunar the Silver Star.
You know what? I really like that one too.
Lunar the Silver Star.
And the rest of the episode is going to be done in Sim speak.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a long month. So Lunar the Silver Star for Sega CD or PS1 or PSP or GBA or any iteration
DS,
of it.
right?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
So, is there cat people in? Okay, so I know what Lunar is, but
Yes,
I've actually
do
haven't
not
played
play the
it.
DS version. It's terrible.
So I remember
It's actually a sequel and it's really bad.
I came across this DS game, and I just saw like these. Or some kind of cat person, I think, on the cover. I could be wrong. I don't know. But this is what it looked like to me at the time. And so I was like, ooh, this looks really, really cool. I'm going to pick this up. And I played it, and I was like, okay. And then I never played it again. But I still have it, I think. And it took me, it wasn't until, that was like 15 years ago, I think. Or
Like very early DS.
It was it was very early DS. It was a really long time ago. And the other day I realized that it was a Lunar game.
Yeah, the Lunar for the DS was
like, oh my God.
atrociously bad. You want to talk about games that need another sequel? Skies of Arcadia is one of them I forgot to mention. Skies of Arcadia needs a good Skies of Arcadia 2. That had a really good universe to make more stuff, and they just didn't. It died with Sega for the most part. So that would be great. And then we need a good Lunar. Like, Lunar Silver Star was good. Eternal Blue was good. I don't even remember what the hell one for the DS was called because I repress it because it's garbage. But anyway, so Lunar Silver Star story. Beautiful Sega CD game. Very ahead of its time. Animated cutscenes, voiced cutscenes. Very bad voiced cutscenes in English. But
See, I've seen you play a good chunk of this game,
yeah.
but I personally have not.
just glorious. I just, fine early like 90s JRPG. In a time period where Final Fantasy was stomping all over the competition, there was this game. Admittedly, very limited market. Sega CD only at the time, so you didn't see it very much, but it was fantastic. And especially to me, because this is one of the games, or this is actually the game that taught me how to read.
Really?
Like, I played this game, and I was like, I wasn't big into books. I was a really stupid kid. And then this game came out, and I was so in love with the characters, because you see the cutscene at first. You're like, oh, wow, cool, I like this, all this thing. I wanted to know what was going on. So I obviously could read, but I wasn't really big into it.
Yeah.
And then I got big into this game. Right about the same time I got big into Goosebumps books.
Oh my gosh, yes. Praise.
Yep. So Lunar and R.L. Stein.
Gosh, R.L. Stein. You lovely, lovely man.
Yep.
I love you.
Those two things got me big into reading, and now I'm huge into reading.
Yeah,
but it was because of like I really
absolutely.
wanted to be able to understand what's going on in Lunar. That I learned how to read proficiently and get into it. And then I was like, okay, well, the reading isn't so bad in games. I'll try this Final Fantasy VII thing out and stuff like that, and all these other things.
Yay.
It all spawned from this game.
Yeah.
So it's very special to me, and it's a beautiful story. You know, it's this kind of like cute little romance about this guy who wants to be the big hero, and he takes this girl on a journey, and she might be this magical goddess thing. And without spoiling a whole lot, even though I'm spoiling Xenoblade, screw you. It's, you know, there's dragons and just different races. Like, it's a big fantasy world. Oh, it's glorious. It's so good. There are better versions of it now. The PSP version is actually the best version because all of the other versions do have some translation problems in it. The PSP version actually fixed that, along with giving it the Final Fantasy IV treatment of cleaning up the sprites and making everything look a little bit prettier.
I wonder if the PSP version is available on Vita.
I don't think so, actually. I think you have to have it on PSP, yeah.
Wow, that's
which we do get. Like
shocking.
I've seen it at our stores a couple times. It's not common, but it's not super expensive. The Sega CD version and the PS1 versions, the really pretty, like with the medallions and the maps, the two PS1 versions, the really big thick ones, what actually H2 has right now.
Really?
Yep, we got it in just the other day.
Complete?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful collections. They're glorious. And they're actually quite good on PS1 also. And they're definitely easier to do than Sega CD. Because every time I turn my Sega CD on, I say a small prayer, please don't break today. Please. Because, you know, it's getting old. And I have the Sega CD Volume 1
And you blow
with the
on
tray.
it and it's broken, yeah.
It's just like, you know, and you have to like burn sacred oils over it. Please, I want to play Android Assault. Don't break today. Like, I desperately want a third-party system that plays disc games. You know, there's the Retron 5, there's the Analog NT, these other really cool systems.
So what's the problem? Like, why haven't they done something like that?
It's probably harder. I mean, if you think it's really easy, just do a board. But a disk drive is more expensive and it's more complicated. That's my assumption. I don't know. But that makes sense to me.
I mean, do they have to pay anybody? Did Retron have to pay?
I don't think they've, not for anything that old. That's why you don't see a 64 one, though, because you can't.
Okay.
But there is one in the works. It was originally called Retro Blocks, and then not something else. And apparently, that even though it was supposed to go on to Kickstarter last year, and then they had to change the name and blah 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 blah. That's supposed to be disc based, and that's going to play Sega CD stuff. They'll play Sega CD. They're saying it's going to play. I think they said PS1 and possibly Saturn. Which is glorious, because it's another thing where when I want to play Guardian Heroes, it's like, please don't break Saturn. Saturns are easy to get a hold of, so it's not that bad. But with my Sega CD, if I want to play like Road Rash or Eternal Champions or, you know, Potful Mail or any of these awesome games, like, please, God, don't take the Sega CD today. Maybe next time, but not today, please. So it would be nice if I had the option to do that. So if you're going to play Luna, probably PS1 or anything beyond that. You know, I own several versions of the Sega CD version because the cover art's different on all of them. Screw you. I'm a freak, leave me alone. But it's definitely questionable for that console because it might be the last time your Sega CD works. Who knows? But yeah, fantastic game. Definitely worth playing. Very special to me, but even if it wasn't, it's just a damn good series of games. The first two were anyways. Third one, it didn't happen. It's a DS game. Play Wizard of Oz instead.
You won't be disappointed.
No, you will not. But there, that was my 3. I suppose we do quick honorable mentions. I have a couple listed.
What about my third, butthead?
Oh, I'm sorry.
God! I'll make it fast, though. Obviously, because you know me, it's going to be Persona 3.
Yeah. Now, I knew you'd do one.
Yes.
I wasn't sure it was going to be 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Well, neither one of us had beat 5 yet because we, you know, are never home. And we're trying to attempt to play Persona 5 together. And like Brett said, in order to get us into the same house to play a game for more than 30 minutes has been quite an ordeal for forever, just because, you know, work and life and stuff like that. So one of these days we'll beat 5, probably right before 6 comes out, I'm sure. But you already played through 3 and 4. So.
Also, I really wanted to add Devil Summoner. I was thinking about adding Devil Summoner because that one's such a cool...
Any of the Shin Megami games, dude. Like Devil Survivor or Strange Journey.
But I knew that it would be opening up a huge... just pick box one. If we did Shin Megami Tensei.
I had a hard time with the Xeno series also because it's like, I really like all of these games. But yeah, so you say Persona 3, huh?
Yeah, Persona 3. I love Persona 3 so much. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's a fantastic game, of course.
Of the music and the art style. The fact that the Aegis is in the game.
And you know what? Waifu. Persona music, it should be a genre all on its own.
I kind of think it sort of is now.
It's so unique and so fantastic. I listen to those soundtracks so much, 3 and 5 as well.
4's was so good also.
4 was good, really.
But
it was really good too.
They're
But
all Persona music, but they all have
Yes.
a specific style to each one.
Yeah.
Like I know 5
But
is
it
kind of
all
jazzy.
sounds like Persona. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
Which is
that
crazy.
composer. I forget his name, but he's brilliant.
It's fantastic. I love it so much, so that you can hear that it's Persona. I feel like
has
if
that
you
Velvet Room music.
yeah, oh my gosh, yes, so fantastic. But yeah, I listen to those soundtracks a lot, specifically 3 and 5 the most. Such a fantastic game and such fantastic soundtracks. But
I gotta say, with Persona, it's a weird game, and I get why some people don't like it because it's hardcore JRPG with lots of grinding and lots of combat and complicated stuff, and then it's part dating sim.
I love that
which
too.
is weird, but it's just
building these social links.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and I love that, and I love being like, planning out what I was gonna do,
Picking
after
your waifu
school.
and everything.
I'm gonna go to the ramen bar, and oh my gosh, so
that game always pissed me off
so
though because you couldn't romance Aegis just because she's a robot. You can't get no love, and that's all I'll say about it. That's all I'm gonna say. You know who you are, you evil Japanese developers. Robots get no love.
I always thought in my opinion, I think Persona 3 kind of teeter-totters as a horror game as well.
Well, you do shoot yourself in the head to some.
I mean, there's a lot of frightening aspects, and I remember when I watched the cutscene where they talk about the 1 hour that disappears that no one knows exists. Everyone's in coffins.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But I really
creepy
love that.
aspects
Yeah,
of the
and
game.
Tartarus is very creepy looking.
God,
So,
and
and of
death
course
comes for you if you
the
don't take long
monsters
enough.
that you fight. So
there are some disturbing designs in the
Yes.
Persona, and just Shin Megami series as a whole.
Very much so.
There are some creepy, and then some just straight up like, oh my goodness, that's a something with a something. Cool.
Yeah.
And if you play the
Yes.
game, you know what I'm talking about. I won't say it. It's a family show, but it's there.
yes, yeah,
It's on a chariot. It's kind of scary.
fantastic,
But
super fantastic. I love Persona.
definitely awesome. Okay, so can I do honorable mentions now?
Yes.
Boss, is that okay? Thank you. I apologize for skipping you.
No, it's
So
fine.
we've mentioned a couple of these, but just quick honorable mentions that needed to be mentioned because we'll get in trouble if we don't. Chrono Trigger, duh.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
it's
course.
Chrono Trigger. It's one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
I think we could all just agree on that. For a SNES game to have, just so much content and multiple endings and just amazing characters. Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama art style before he got ridiculously fanfic like he is in Super right now. Stupid show. Sorry. Moving on.
Oh wow!
There's
a lot of people like that show.
Goku's got white hair now.
A lot of people like that show. Yeah, I've seen the figures.
Every person I've talked to that likes it because they're a diehard Dragon Ball fan, and it's like an abusive relationship. It's like me in Transformers movies, where you know it's gonna be awful, but you keep going back to it anyways, even though you know it's gonna just like knock you down and be horrible. I feel like that's a lot of the. You know how it is. Like everybody has that thing where it's like no matter how bad it is, like you'll watch a horror movie no matter how awful it's gonna be.
Oh, of course.
You'll watch it like God, that was awful, but I'll probably watch the next one anyways.
Of course.
That's how I think
I
most
just
Dragon
have
Ball
to.
fans now are like that. We're like, oh my
Well,
God, this is terrible.
I've met a lot of people who
but we can see
legitimately
Goku
like
blow
it,
crap
though.
up.
Yeah, and think it's good.
Yeah, like I've been watching Super specifically. So I make fun of stuff. It's all in fun because I'm still watching it with the hope that one day, Vegeta won't be a completely worthless pile of stuff.
Oh, Vegeta.
Because I mean, Vegeta's so awesome, and he always fails.
He's so precious.
It's like, man, poor Vegeta. But anyways, so Chrono Trigger, fantabulous. We already mentioned Breath of Fire, specifically 3 and 4 for PS1 were so good.
Matt's personal favorite, Earthbound.
Yeah, Earthbound. So I put Earthbound on the list
Yes.
because I personally
It deserves
do not
to-
like Earthbound.
Yeah, I know, but it deserves to be on this list.
It does.
And a lot of people enjoy it. I think it's a great game. It's really quirky. I love quirky stuff.
It's
I'm sure if
I have
you've
an
listened
issue
to
with
this
quirky for quirky's sake, and I think
I don't think it's
Earthbound
quirky for quirky's sake. I think it
epitomizes
just
that,
is.
where it's like,
There's
oh,
a-
look at this kid with a big head and a baseball bat, and you fight a fetus at the end of the game. It's weird.
There's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot in Japanese culture that is quirky, which is one of the things that I love about it because as a kind of a quirky person myself, I can relate.
Kind of, you said.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe a lot
I can
of
respect
quirky.
it very much for what it
But
did.
I can relate, and I like that.
I just cannot get into it. I can't. But I get why that's why we put it on here. I get why it's popular. I just don't like it, and that's fine. That's okay. So don't judge me. It's all right. I put on here, or you did, Brit, Rhapsody, which was a
Yes.
cool PS1 game.
Yes.
And I believe the DS also?
The DS one, yes.
Yeah.
And I only played it for the DS. I actually didn't realize that it was for the PS1 until much later. So I need to get my hands on that PS1 copy because I really like that game. It's a really great game. It's really weird. It's an RPG, of course, because we're talking about RPGs, with music and musical instruments.
That is pretty cool.
Ooh, you know what? Another really great one that's not on this list?
What?
Eternal Sonata.
Yes, that was a good one. Or another one's oh my god, here we go. I specifically made this a short list, but also
sorry.
Star Ocean.
Yes!
Yep. Good.
Yes.
Okay,
I was about to say, and then I realized you had it on the list. I was about to say that.
Yeah. I made a quick list there. I was going to mention there are many games out there not on our list that we didn't talk about.
Absolutely. Is Magna Carta Japanese?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. That's
Magna
another one.
Carta's fantastic, too.
Magna Carta. Oh god, I can't remember the one with the music. Oh, that narrows it down. There's at least 3 of them. There was 2.
I was going to say
PS
Resonance of Fate. No, that's not
There
right.
was 2 for PS2. That's another pretty good one actually. There was 2 for PS2 and 1 for PS3. I can't remember what it was called now. Oh
What
my
was
god.
it with?
Ars Technica. That was another really good one.
Oh, okay.
Oh man. Okay, stop.
Okay, sorry.
Stop. So I was gonna say, if we have not mentioned your favorite game, please let us know. You'll leave a comment on the YouTube channel, or
You forgot Phantasy Star.
I was gonna mention Phantasy Star.
Okay, sorry. I didn't think you were.
No,
My
I was
bad.
okay. Let me just stop what I was doing. Phantasy Star. There. I would be remiss to not mention the Mega Drive Psygnosis's like premier or only RPG, which was Phantasy Star. Great series, turned into Phantasy Star Online. Fantastic Dreamcast game, fantastic GameCube game. And there's Phantasy Star 2, Online 2, which we're just never going to get in this country. It's coming to the Switch this year in Japan, but we're just never going to get it. That pisses me off because it's supposed to be really good. Sorry. So your Prince give me that look like, it's okay, man. I hate that. It's like there's a huge demand for Phantasy Star 2, and they will not give it to us.
They should do it.
I don't get it. I wasn't even that big of a fan of Phantasy Star Online. I just wanted over here to try it. Like, let me try it. But no, whatever. Moving on. So anyways, is there anything important I missed?
Blue Dragon.
Damn it.
I think that one's actually worth mentioning. That one's really popular. Another one that's popular, but
That
also
one kind of flopped, I
under
thought.
the radar at the same time.
I never played it, but that's another Akira Toriyama one, right?
A
With
lot
the
of
artwork?
people,
Yeah.
a lot of people enjoy Blue Dragon. It's been a
was
long
cool.
time since I played.
What
that one.
about? Okay, this is. Oh boy, here
I think it's worth mentioning.
Here comes the weeb. I'm a big fan of Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Yes, you have played every
I
Hyperdimension
really have.
ever. Yes.
And they're not that good.
Have you 100%ed all
Nope.
of them?
Nope. That would
I'm
take
shocked.
countless hours. I've gotten all the
You've
endings
beat
and most
every
of them.
single one, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't beaten Mega Dimension 7 because they're re-releasing it with VR support. Shut up.
Oh, that's gonna be fun though, and more VR support, please.
You can poke
I
Neptune
love
in the
the
nose.
VR. The VR is fantastic, and I will buy even if it's crappy, every horror game that they release. Don't Knock Twice. I'm buying it.
Oh man,
I don't
making
care.
me play it, I'm sure.
And I'm gonna make him play it because it's gonna be hilarious. We're gonna post videos.
Like I'm aware that Hyperdimension isn't really that good of a game. I know it's not. I really like the kind of like the quirky sense of humor. Go ahead.
I like
just
the
let me have
anime.
it. The anime is funny, and then there's
The anime's
tons.
fun.
There's tons of references. Like it's a reference party, like Ready Player One is, where every city is a console. Every major character is from either a game or a studio of some kind. It's just fun, and then it's just cute little like JRPG fan service kind of thing. So it's a fun game. It's not anything extreme. It's not going to win any awards, but they're fun and they're adorable.
Hey, what matters is that you enjoy it.
That's
what
right.
games are for. And who cares?
I don't judge you for playing MLB The Show. Don't judge me for playing Hyperdimension.
Yeah, who cares what anybody thinks? It's fun.
Look. If there's a baseball game with cute little anime girls, I'll probably play it. Okay, just
I'd be all on that.
right.
I think that would be fun.
Well, I mean, there was that really cool like soccer dodgeball game for Super Famicom where you played as like Mazinger Z and Get a Robo and stuff like that. That game would.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
a really good game. I have it. I'm not sure what's going on because it's all in Japanese, but it's a lot of fun. Just because you're like Mazinger Z with a ball, it's like catch it, rocket the punch. Anyways, we're getting out of here. Unless you're going to cut me off. Okay. If we haven't talked about a game on your list of favorite JRPGs, or if you have a suggestion for a show you'd like us to do later on, please let us know. Write us at podcast@gameovervideogames.com. That's what, Brittany?
Podcast@gameovervideogames.com.
Or leave a comment on the channel. Thank you very much for listening. This is Game Overcast. I'm your host, Matt.
I'm Brittany.
And we will catch you next time. Ta-ta.
Bye.